House and its new Speaker, Mike Johnson, passed a $14.3 billion package for Israel. However, most Democrats and even some Senate Republicans call this legislation deeply flawed. WENY Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon has been following the latest and has more this evening from Capitol Hill.
Billions in aid for Israel passed the Republican-controlled House Thursday with the support of 12 Democrats. The legislation would cut $14.3 billion from the Internal Revenue Service and use it instead to aid Israel in its war against Hamas. However, most Democrats say the bill is flawed in that aid for Israel should not be leveraged for funding cuts.
By imposing a condition in their legislation that was designed to undermine the Inflation Reduction Act. That is a classic definition of a political stunt.
I did not attach that for political purposes.
Despite the Congressional Budget Office estimating the cuts would lead to billions in lost revenue, Speaker Mike Johnson says it's the most fiscally responsible option.
I attached it because, again, we're trying to get back to the principle of fiscal responsibility here.
The House bill also does not include additional aid for Ukraine, as requested by President Biden.
You know, we're always going to be there for Israel. We're going to be there for Israel. I think we've already proved to Ukraine that we're there for them.
Representative Mike Kelly says the U.S. has delivered big time for Ukraine. He believes Europe should be doing the same.
I'm just surprised the rest of Europe didn't help out with Ukraine the way I think they should have. NATO has been kind of off to the side, involved but not really involved.
That being said, Kelly acknowledges the unique role of the United States during times of emergency.
I think we're going to show up anywhere in the world where there's trouble. We are, whether we like it or not, the world's policeman.
Leadership in the Senate say they're working on their own bipartisan aid package, which would include aid for Israel, Ukraine, the Indo-Pacific, and humanitarian aid to Gaza. Reporting in Washington, Brendan Scanlon, WENY News.
New York State